sneaking downstairs early, yelling so loud the neighbors came over. Remember how jealous Anne-Marie was?
A beautiful summer day in New Providence, Iowa, where townspeople are watching as their village gets its first water tower. 2 men on the tower and 1 operating a crane from above. Then, tragedy. People on the ground can't believe what they're seeing.
Oh my God.
Authorities say the tragedy happened as a result of soft soil under the crane's outriggers or hydraulic legs, which are supposed to keep it stable. When the ground gave way, the crane tipped and took the water tower with it. Wiping out the tower on its way down, scattering debris all over the neighborhood.
That couldn't have hit the pickup any worse, could it?
And there are a few close calls for some of the locals.
We were watching it, and I heard something snap. And this started going like this, so I just took off running.
2 of the workers suffer injuries, but recover. A third is not so fortunate. Nobody on the ground was hurt, but the freak accident was no less traumatic for eyewitnesses.
What should have been the most happy day for New Providence is devastating.
Murdoch, Illinois. An 8-car freight train carrying highly flammable liquids and gas has derailed and caught fire, posing a huge danger for local residents. With no water available to extinguish the blaze, police order an evacuation within a 4-mile radius of the derailment. Fearing the worst, residents quickly flee. However, a news crew stays behind to document the threatening blaze. Then, it comes. 7 seconds later, the powerful shockwave shakes the camera. The immense heat generated from the blast is felt more than a mile away. The monstrous explosion shows a twisted 6-ton propane-filled rail car fly an unbelievable 3,640 feet across a field. That's more than half a mile. As night falls, the unstable fire has yet to subside. Now the flames surround a rail car filled with isobutane. And then 50,000 gallons of fuel creates a fireball so intense that it turns darkness into a blinding white light. 48 hours later, the fire has burnt out. All that remains are scorched crops, twisted metal, and melted train cars. A half a mile away, the wreckage from the flying propane rail car sits in a field. An investigation reveals that old and damaged railroad ties caused the derailment. Not one injury came about when this freight train derailed and led to the 2 most powerful explosions Murdoch, Illinois has ever experienced. Phoenix, Arizona. A news helicopter captures the high-speed pursuit of a man in a stolen dump truck. The truck blows through an intersection. It seems the chase is over, but the driver actually manages to crawl out of the wreckage. Seemingly uninjured, he escapes with a bolt cutter. But a bystander with a baseball bat has a different plan.
He's running. He's running.
I told him to lay down on the ground, and he was being real crazy looking, and he whacked me in the elbow with the bolt cutters, and I jumped him into the bushes over there.
Seconds later, police take over, and the now local hero steps back. The driver realizes that the 18-ton dump truck can neither stop nor swerve to avoid the oncoming vehicle. The oversized rear tire plows over the car. The truck careens into a traffic light before sliding across the pavement. Even though both vehicles were destroyed, the 5 passengers inside this car escaped injury. The truck driver was taken into custody. It's Friday the 13th in Waialua, Hawaii. Just another workday for a crew of electric company linemen. Or so they think. On the ground, Warren Everall, otherwise known as Tiny, helps organize supplies for pickup by friend and fellow Vietnam veteran, helicopter pilot Steve Cucks. Cucks's experience at the controls includes time on the hit TV series Magnum P.I. Behind the lens, a filmmaker documents what she thinks will be a routine day. Hours into the workday, Cucks radios a mechanical glitch, and his copter seems unsteady in the sky. But 90 seconds later, Cucks appears to be bringing the copter in for a smooth landing. Until it spins wildly out of control. The filmmaker is pushed out of harm's way, just seconds before the copter slams into the ground. The pilot is pinned under the wreckage in a drainage ditch.
Come on, jump in!
Tiny and others try desperately to help him before he drowns.
Give me that, give me that!
Call the ambulance.
Get on radio, call dispatch! Get out, get out! Yeah.
Pilot Steve Cucks loses control of his helicopter. The filmmaker is pushed out of harm's way just seconds before the copter slams into a nearby drainage ditch. His unconscious body trapped underwater by the wreckage.
Jump in,
Tiny Everall tries desperately to free him before he drowns.
Get on radio, call dispatch! Get out! Yeah.
What happens next is a miracle.
Get out, get out!
The extreme stress causes Tiny's adrenal glands to release epinephrine, frequently attributed to so-called superhuman strength, allowing him to lift the 4,000-pound wreckage, freeing the pilot.